Greetings, programs. This is the ultimate guide, in-depth, detailed analysis preview for 2016's Hasbro Jurassic World Hybrids Dinosaur toy line. Now I'm going to stay as objective as possible with putting in my own little tidbits. What we're going to look at here is every single dinosaur in depth. Now the initial reaction to these toys, depending on where you live, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, was very positive. Lots of people saying that they liked them. And then for some reason it took a turn for the worse later in the night, Saturday night, and this morning on Sunday. A lot of people are backlashing. They're saying they're not like the toys. I personally think this is okay. We have a progression forward. It's better than last year's. I think last year's line was the worst toy line ever. I think Jurassic Park 3 was better. The dinosaurs look better, as well as having humans and vehicles. So I just think Jurassic Park 3 was better. I think we regressed with Jurassic World, all these screw holes. Yes, kids see screw holes. My friend's kid's Craig. I bought his dinosaur aficionado daughter, Penny, a bad boy Indominus Rex. I made her one that stands, and the 9-year-old Ivy noticed that it's got holes in it, and they all noticed it and laughed at it. Kids notice these things. Kids are very smart. They're not stupid. They're also very observant. So kids notice these things. Here are my notes. Tons of them, all for you guys. I was on a 3-hour conference call last night with Raptor Squad just talking about this. So some of these toys are good. Some of these toys are, ugh. Let's get into it. I'd first like to shout out the sources. I'm going to read from this list right here. JurassicWorld.org, JPToys.com, 16bit.com, Dan Cosa on Twitter, CoolToyReview.com, The Toy Insider, Action Figure Insider, and Family Gamer TV. All the links to these people will be in the description below. All right, let's do this. We have the Hybrid FX Tyrannosaurus Rex. I already did a reaction and analysis of that. It's actually not that bad. Speaking of what I just talked about, progression, this is it right here. So review is coming soon, not right now though. This is actually an improvement from this. I mean, you can see it here side by side. This is so bland. It looks like crap. This looks better. Yeah, it's got screw holes when previously did not. This is one of the better toys, even though it's a very lazy paint job, but they are caring a little bit. I think Hasbro's on a budget. I think that they weren't allowed to remold anything really, but they did a good job doing better paint apps. That's what this whole line is about, better paint jobs. So I already talked about the Hybrid FX. I already did a reaction analysis to the Hybrid Rampage Indominus Rex, which I really loved. And that took a turn for a little bit of the worse. I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna hold that off at the end of the video. It's because of the action feature. It's ugly. So those are the two main sellers. For some reason, spring is the release date for like all these toys, the Basher Biters, the Growlers, and the Hybrid FX, which is already for sale in January. Now it's February, but it's for sale in January. And for fall 2016 is the Hybrid Rampage Indominus Rex. For some reason, they want to throw out that one in the fall. To be honest with you, I'd rather have this one later and then the Indominus Rex now, because you want that hook. Like this was released first before the Stop and Strike. You want that first big item to release so it gets us excited for the rest of the line to be released. Not wait for the good stuff, because by then I might not be interested, which I almost am not sometimes. So the first one on our itinerary from JP Toys is the Alpha Cycle and Hybrid Raptor pack for 20 bucks. So that includes the Owen figure, the motorcycle, and then apparently the Raptor, which has not been seen. You can bet your bottom dollar that it's going to be a basher. There's no way they're throwing a $15 growler in a $20 pack that includes a figure and a motorcycle. So let's look at the Owen and the motorcycle. All right, here's our Owen. It looks, I thought it was just okay. It's a serviceable Owen. What's really great is the rifle looks just like the one in the film. The motorcycle looks like the one in the film. The motorcycle, might as well get into right now, looks a little bit cheap because of the tires. You can see the metal there. It looks kind of cheap. It's all, I don't know. I can probably bet the other side has the screw holes as well. I hope it doesn't. Owen, the costuming looks great. I have no idea what's up with his legs, but yet I do. They're to fit on the motorcycle. He's got like this, like this. He's got this, hey ladies, like stance to fit on the motorcycle, which is the dumbest thing ever, because Kenner has this rolling tempo that has articulated knees that fit on his motorcycle vehicle compared to the regular rolling tempo figure, which, you know, it's just, you know, regular standard 5 points of articulation. Here they decide to add in knee articulation. You can see actually here in this Owen figure, I'm going to flip the image, and you can see that the elbows, they have articulation there to move, you know, the gun. So I don't see why they couldn't do that for the knees as well. To be honest with you, not having knee articulation is not that big of a deal. What is a big deal is that his face sculpt is pretty bad. That doesn't look a thing like Chris Pratt. You know, I thought Hasbro has the rights for Star-Lord. I don't know why they didn't put a Chris Pratt Star-Lord face on there. I know they only had it in 6-inch form and 2.5-inch form. This is a 3 3/4 confirmed. It's not 4 inches flat, it's 3 3/4. And that face sculpt, for some reason, they didn't use a Chris Pratt one. They didn't really make a new one. That's like, they gotta be the most laziest face sculpt I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it's worse than this Amanda, I was gonna say Amanda Ripley. It's worse than this Amanda Kirby. Like, this Amanda Kirby is so bad. So on that conference call with the Raptor squad, Nick said his little brother, I forget his name, came into the room, and then Nick showed him all the pictures of the dinosaurs. And Nick said to his brother, that's Owen right there in that figure. And his brother goes, what? That's not Owen. That doesn't look a thing like Owen. If a little kid, kids don't lie, says that Owen doesn't look like Owen, then I'm telling you the truth. It's not just me, an adult collector. It's the kids that are noticing this. The children. Listen to the children. That's my best Paul Mooney. That's pretty much the biggest flaw, is the face sculpt. I can get away with the legs because it can fit on the motorcycle, but that face sculpt is pretty awful. I'm still going to pick this up, but that doesn't look a thing like Chris Pratt. At least he's got butt articulation so he can sit down and move around. So at least we have 5 to 7 points of articulation here, so that's good. I'm going to give the Owen motorcycle set a thumbs up rather than a thumbs down. Overall, I think it's okay. And I can't wait to see what the blue looks like. Hopefully it has a blue stripe. All right, next is our hybrid raptor growler. A couple things are striking. The first thing is the paint job. It actually looks really good, in my opinion. I thought I really didn't like the little DNA sequencing on the bottom of the hybrid Rex. It's included here for the hybrid raptor. It looks actually pretty good. I don't mind it. Of course, that we use the really good looking but horribly detailed sculpt of Charlie/Delta from the growlers of last year. We have a stupid chicken bone dino damage remaining. Really lazy on their part. But this paint job actually looks really, really good. This is actually pretty solid. So I'm going to give this Velociraptor hybrid a thumbs up. I think it's good. It doesn't look a thing like the level 40 Velociraptor from the game, which it's supposed to be based off of. The level 40 Velociraptor has more spikes on the back, as well as the head. It has some nice feathering type deal. But it looks pretty much like the one from the game, which is what all this line is based off of. I guess one flaw besides the glossy, detailed sculpt, the chicken bone dino damage, is the claws aren't painted. They're like the same exact color as the underbelly, which is like this really light mud type color. See, the hand claws aren't painted, the toe claws aren't painted. So that is a problem, but I guess if you were to say something positive about that, maybe it is mud that the Raptor got a hold of. But it's okay, I'll give it a thumbs up. And the packaging looks really sick. That actually looks really solid. So next on the itinerary is a Pterominus, which was not shown. I assume that's going to be a Pteranodon Gallimimus hybrid. That's a Hasbro creation, not shown here. This is the only opportunity besides the Dilophosaurus Rex, which I'll get into in a second. That's a 100% original creation by Hasbro. So that was not shown. That's a growler to the Pterominus. So we have a Dilophosaurus growler. Really not that many photos. It looks like there really aren't any screw holes. I see one on the belly for the electronic chamber, but besides that, this is pretty much the only photo we have of the Dilophosaurus. It's a really cool paint job, paint scheme. Once again, these paint jobs for this line are really good. The poison goo coming out of his mouth or her mouth is the same exact color as the body, which is not cool. Hope they change that. But the head and the frill looks really nice. I'm assuming you can see barely at the top of that body, you can see the black striping. It ends halfway through the tail, so laziness. That happens at a couple of the Jurassic World toys here. And of course last year, they were really lazy, didn't paint all the way to the tail. But at least they painted the toe claws and hand claws. So very positive. I'm gonna give this one a thumbs up. That toy was solid to begin with, so that one's probably gonna be a good one. Next is the Armor Ankylosaurus. This one is a thumbs down. The Ankylosaurus was the best bastard biter from last year. And for some reason, they put on this like really tacky, like Pokemon looking armor on the back, getting rid of the original spike armor, and as well as the tail, they put on this like Game of Thrones dragon type deal on the on the end, and it's all like this metallic sparkly green. You can see some yellow there in the images. The yellow there is not the actual paint job. The yellow is from the lights from above from Hasbro. Some of the photos you're going to be seeing floating around the internet are going to be very yellow. I try to get rid of that, but here you can't. So that's going to be all one color green metallic. I like the original far better. This one is a thumbs down. I'm gonna give it a meh. Next one is the armored Indominus Rex. This one also gets a thumbs down. It looks so stupid. That is actually not from the lighting. That armor is actually a little bit of yellow. It looks so bad. It looks like some like Spartan 300 and he's going off to battle wearing a helmet and something on his back. That's just really, really lazy. You also see they didn't paint the screws and the screw holes, which they actually did in a couple of them, but for some reason they decided not to do it because it's nearly the same color as the body and torso of the animal. So laziness on their part. Next in the itinerary is the Spinoraptor, which is not shown, but here is a picture of the Spinoraptor from the game. Looks actually really cool, so we're missing that. Next is the Stegoceratops. This one is a double thumbs up. This one actually looks really good. It's got this really bright blue with dark blue patterning on the side. Top plates are yellow. Really sucks that they cheapened out. They didn't paint the back tail spikes and plates on the rest of the tail, continuing from the top to the back, yellow. They also didn't paint the innards yellow. So hopefully by release they fix that, as well as the horns for some reason are like pointed down. I wish they were pointed up a little bit more. Besides that, this is the best basher shown this year. I really like it. The eye looks really great too. So next up is the CarnoRaptor Basher Biter. This thing looks okay. The biggest thing is that they painted the screws, which is great, and the paint job striping on the back looks really good. Like even, okay, not just the striping itself, they also put like behind the striping, they put like this like white fade that goes into the red. It looks really good. And they have like this like brown maroon, like little fiery temper thing going on. They got like the little yellow going around it. There's like an outline slash stroke. Looks really good. The whole body looks red, like a fiery demon, kind of cool, like the original Demon Carnotaurus. And the very front has like this yellow that fades into near the snout. And of course, it continues up to the top of the head. I like that. But overall, the sculpt looks pretty good. It doesn't look 100% like the CarnoRaptor in the game. The CarnoRaptor has like more of an elongated snout in the game. It looks more like a Carnotaur on a raptor body, rather than they fuse a Carnotaurus and a raptor together. Pretty solid though. So I'm gonna give the CarnoRaptor Basher a thumbs up. And I don't know why it's not in the itinerary. I don't see it here. There's a CarnoRaptor Growler. So here's the CarnoRaptor Growler. This one looks okay. What sucks about the CarnoRaptor Growler is pretty much the same exact head sculpt, but for some reason they permanently put the lower jaw in a fixed position rather than having like pulling down the tail and then the jaw opens. So that kind of sucks. It looks like they reused the same body from Blue, the Growler from last year. You can see the feet are nearly in the same position. They move the left leg a little bit back and outward, probably for balancing maybe. And the arms look the exact same. You can see this top striping doesn't look as good as the Basher Biter at all, to be honest with you. It doesn't look good at all. But it looks like they did change the electronic dino damage. It looks like that's different than Blue's. They didn't continue the striping and the coloring on the top scales throughout the rest of the tail there. Kind of lazy. And you can see the paint jobs look like he's wearing like mittens and shoes, but it actually looks really good. And of course the yellow fiery underbelly. This one's actually not bad. I don't like it as much as the Basher Biter, but I'm still gonna give this a thumbs up. It looks cool. Next is the Dilophosaurus Rex. 2 thumbs down. This is the laziest thing I've seen in my life. Someone on Instagram, I think, had a photo of the Dilophosaurus Rex with some paper frills like here and for the crest. This thing looks pretty awful. This is just so lazy. When I thought of Dilophosaurus Rex, it could have gone one of 2 ways. Amazing or awful. This is awful. The amazing could have been like a really big retool of like the Stomp and Strike. I don't have the Stomp and Strike in my room, but I had the Red Rex here. Can you just imagine if this had like the paint scheme from the first movie, Dilophosaurus, which is actually also right here, and it had like frills like here, and it could have been like electronic, and then like you push it, it opens. Like how cool would that have been? That's a great idea. But they decided to give us a repaint of the Basher Biter T-Rex, probably the worst Basher Biter, maybe the second worst, and then add frills and a crest on it. It looks really lazy, really stupid, and for some reason it looks like they changed the teeth. They added like more teeth, and it looks kind of like he's wearing dentures or something. It just doesn't look good. This one gets a thumbs down. Not on the itinerary are these Indominus Rex Bashers. Both of these get thumbs up. The first one here has this like blue and green and like this dark brown red type deal, and it all fades. There's like a million colors here. And of course the level 40 striping on the arms, body, and top scales, as well as the Rampage pits on the skull, and then the blues on the underjaw and the middle of the body and to the tail. You can actually see this Basher Biter, the red continues almost all the way to the end of the tail. Whoever did this did a great job. This gets a thumbs up. And the other one in the background, which no one's really been talking about, it's even better. They didn't include the blue there, and the striping just looks so amazing. It includes the same exact bottom, but not as aggressive. The brown doesn't go up to the knees and thighs as much as the other one with the blue, so that one looks a little more aggressive compared to this one. Looks way more natural. That one gets a double thumbs up. Also not on the itinerary is a Spinosaurus Basher. It's a repaint of one of the worst Jurassic Park toys ever. The Spinosaurus, duck-billed looking mother effer. They didn't fix the teeth, and this is where I think that Hasbro didn't give give this team much money or much budget, because if they did, they would have fixed that. I think they're not dumb. But this paint job actually looks really good. This is a huge improvement from the last year's Spinosaurus Basher Biter. The tail looks maybe a little bit different. It's not as like curved or anything. I don't know. I haven't touched the Spinosaurus in a while, but this paint job is so good. You have gold feet, underbelly, gold hands. The hands are painted. The mouth looks better. The gums, the tongue, the teeth are painted. This blue looks really good. There's even like a darker purple striping. It goes all the way up. And if you notice, the red that goes on the sail continues almost all the way to the end of the tail. This actually gets a thumbs up, unlike the last year's version, which was god-awful. This is a really good paint job. I would say almost all of these are great paint jobs. Some of the retooling, like the armored Ankylosaurus and the armored Indominus, look really stupid. But overall, you can see that they're caring just more. Not a little bit, not too much, but just more. Just somewhere in between. They're carrying just a little bit more here. That's a good-looking Spinosaurus. That's a decent toy. Thumbs up. It's also based off the level 40 Spinosaurus from the game, and you can see the resemblance is really good. So I have my list here. I'm going to try to name off this little section of notes I have that I cannot forget to tell you guys. No Claire / ACU vet fan via Chris Likes Dinos said that on Twitter. I agree with him. No Claire vet van, that'd be really cool to have. The only reason why I bought Legos is because they had humans and vehicles. This, we only have one vehicle and one human, like legitimate one vehicle, one human. Not talking about that crap 2.5-inch figure stuff that we got last year. We have our first legit one figure and one vehicle here. A Claire ACU vet unit van would be a really cool idea to have, and it's pretty much the biggest reason why I bought Lego. And I'm actually thinking, I go in the store every time I want to buy the Animal Planet stuff, because they have humans and vehicles. They also have dinosaurs. The dinosaurs kind of suck, but the humans and the vehicles look really good, and they're pretty much Jurassic Park type scale. Why not get them? It's like, Hasbro, do you not want our money? Why aren't you making more humans and vehicles? It's so dumb. I can give you my money instead of giving my money to Lego. You get what I'm saying? For some reason, there's a UPC for a Tyrannosaurus Rex Basher Biter. I don't know what that could be, but maybe they meant the Indominus Rex in the itinerary, but that wasn't there, so that's one. The blue with the pack wasn't there, the Spinal Raptor wasn't there, and the Pteromimus, or you pronounce the damn hybrid that Hasbro decided to make. So those are 4 things that weren't shown, as well as maybe some secrets they have. Okay, the Rampage Indominus Rex. I was like a little giddy girl on Friday, and for a good reason. That sculpt looks really great on that left side, just as a still. It looks really good. And then I saw a photo where the neck was like moved and the mouth was open. And I was like, that's weird, because this Indominus Rex, to open the mouth, you have to pull down the arm. And there's a slit here, just like the Rampage one, so I thought the Rampage was just a retool of this, which it is, but they decided not to include a rubber head for the retool Rampage for some reason, and they changed it to plastic. Instead of having no seams or anything ridiculous right there, they decided to have the head on a rotating axis. You can see the spikes for some reason are yellow. I wish they were red. And then the one that is a hybrid, whatever, pops out and then is yellow. Whatever on that, I guess. That button I thought was dino damage. I put in the annotations. I figured out pretty much right after I made the video that it wasn't dino damage because it said spike reveal. So I was like, that's a button for the spike reveal. And then, you know, the videos came out with the demo of it, and that is indeed the spike reveal button. Here's the other side of photo. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like 5 screw holes. Probably the same amount as last year-ish. Yeah, pretty much the same amount as last year, and you probably know there's one hidden behind that right leg there. At least there's no screw holes on the face if that face is indeed plastic, which it probably is. So that's actually pretty striking that they didn't have screw holes on the face. So that's really good. One thing I will say I really don't like, besides the spines not being red here in the back, the scales, is that the front of the head, there's just like all these big horns that go down the head. They're all like in different directions. If you look at the level 40 Indominus from the game, it has like none at the front of the nostril and on the mid back of the head, and then it starts getting bigger and bigger, then it apexes right at the back of the head and start at the neck and mid neck. For some reason, Hasbro decided to do their own thing and add big ass horns, especially at the front there. And you know, if that's rubber or even if it's plastic, you can't chop that off. So that sucks, because that head looks really good. That's a really good looking head. The pits look really great. You can see actually even more detailing. The hands are like painted gold and the feet are painted gold. It's a very metallic gold too. They're going for a lot of metallic paints this year. You can also see the striping has a stroke of white around the striping. It looks really good, but just minor things, man. So notice when also, I'm just gonna pause right now. He does the spike reveal and the spikes are yellow. And then the other video I'm about to show you, the spikes are red. So I don't know if there's 2 variants or they decided to paint the reveal spikes red. I don't know. but they're two different Indominus Rexes for some reason. I don't know what's up with that. When this video started, I frowned. I'm not gonna lie. The head is on an axis and goes like this, and it's got this concave cutout, and it rotates on this. You can see just like this gap, like from here to here on that, and it looks, oh, it looks so bad. Why? You had such a great photo Friday, such a great photo, and you ruined it the next damn day with this stupid shit. I'm gonna show you something. This is the Galloping Butch from Tommy's Good Dinosaur. I'm gonna demo it for you. So this part, this whole body, torso and head, moves down, right? It's on an axis right here. It moves separately, and this stays stationary. So this, think of as the body of the Indominus Rex there, and this as the head. So I don't know why the engineers couldn't do it this way where everything's flush and you're not gonna see any stupid cutouts. For some reason, Hasbro decided to do it that way and make it look so ugly. They didn't even have to do that. All they had to do was keep the rubber head from the Indominus Rex from last year. It's mind-boggling. It's, and you hear the damn wind-up clock? Like, what is that? Captain Hook's gonna come or something? Like, you know that's not gonna last. What dinosaur toy had a wind-up electronic feature? Maybe the animatronic Spinosaurus. It's got a very whiny. What dinosaur you know has a wind-up clock arm action feature? This was fine, you morons. It works. You know what's really cool about this too? When you pull down the arm here, its mouth goes at that big ass angle, just like in the movie when that guy's shooting at her. And then she, bam, eats them. Perfect. You didn't have to do a thing to this. All you had to do is, you know, put in your little retools, add more sculpt, detailing, because this is kind of just brushed over detailing wise. Add in that pit and stuff, add in those little more spikes, add in the red patterning. This thing would have been so cool, made it bounce correctly. But nope, you done messed up. It is a great looking head. The eyeball looks great. I noticed that it wasn't a slip pupil like the old bad boy, it's a round pupil. I mean, this guy 16-bit said, tell me this isn't awesome, I'll call you a filthy, dirty liar. Well, call me a filthy, dirty liar, because that's not awesome. And again, I don't assume that you're a big dinosaur aficionado like I am, so. One thing I don't like, some people like the fangs. I already voiced my displeasure about them, but it looks really stupid here because it has this like droop like this. It's just like, it's not like closed like a regular dinosaur jaw would be. Like, boom, closed. Shit. Closed. Can you imagine if this toy was like something like this or something? That's pretty much what it is. Stupid. No, it's not awesome, Adam. I guess I'll just show you real quick the alternate spikes. I'm just gonna pause it and show you that the background image looks like a new Indominus Rex render for marketing. That looks really cool. We only see like bottom half of the head down, but that looks really cool. I can't wait to see what that looks like.
This is the hybrid Rampage Indominus
So there
Rex.
it is. There's the red spikes. It actually looks better. But I wish it was reversed. I wish those spikes were actually red, the original ones, and then the ones that pop out were yellow. But I digress. You can't always get what you want.
It's got more color, more texture. You'll see also.
It's got more color, more texture.
So, if you move its arm.
Oh my god, that wind-up clock is so bad. Alright, we gotta pause here. Showing the mouth with this like rectangle cutout, and then the jaws are like hollow, and it's nothing like this because this is all rubber pieced, and that's like this cup that goes into the mouth there, and there's so much empty space. It's that's kind of embarrassing.
This is part of our vehicle attack pack. For the first time ever, we have Owen recreated in an action figure.
He says it with such pride, like, guess what? We got Owen for the first time. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Let me go vape outside.
Thanks for dropping by Jurassic World.
No problem. It's my job. So, I don't know what's Hasbro's obsession with hard plastic. It looks like that Indominus Rampage is hard plastic head. We had a rubber one. And if they are thinking of, oh, well, the rubber was ripping for the Indominus Rex bad boy, and it was ripping for the neck of the Spinosaurus Rex, so we're gonna get rid of rubber completely and just have hard plastic. How about this? You don't use cheap rubber, you This is cheap rubber, but it's not as cheap rubber as your Jurassic World toys, which are god-awful. Like this guy has like a little nick ripping because of the thin rubber here, the thrashing feature inside of all the mechanics and plastic and stuff. And guess which one of your Hasbro dinosaurs are worth the most money? Ha! The one that looks like a Kenner toy? Yep, this thing's worth a lot of money on eBay. Why? Because it looks like a Kenner toy and it's made of rubber with a real feel dinosaur skin. You want to make more sales? You make rubber skin. The real feel from Kenner days. And it's not like it's only available for the big ones. It's also available for the medium-sized ones and even the small ones. They used to make them all rubber and real feel. Everyone's complaining about, oh, the prices of plastic keep going up. Make rubber ones? I don't want to hear about how much plastic is going up and Hasbro has to cut costs in China this and China that. China's got the cheapest labor. You don't have labor here. I don't want to hear any excuses from a $7 billion company. Here's a hard plastic toy. No screw holes on either side. They're conveniently at the bottom where they should be because this is a cleverly engineered product unlike yours. I don't think any of these toys are going to have rubber in them. It's the stupidest thing in the world. Stop being so damn cheap. I don't know if you're cheap, lazy, or stupid, but there's no excuse not to have at least a couple rubber dinosaurs, if not all of them like Kenner used to have. So for God's sake, please return real feel skin to Jurassic World 2's toy line. Please. God, it's not that hard to ask. Seriously. And it's not that hard to engineer either. If this is 1994, you couldn't make this in 2016 to 2018? That's pretty sad, man. With all these technological advancements, here I am talking to random people I don't even know on the internet. But you can't make rubber dinosaur toys? That blows my mind. There's something going on that's, I mean, just announced today, Mattel, for $300, you can buy your own 3D printer. Check please? People are just gonna start making their own toys, making their own dinosaurs. We don't have to buy your crap. So that is all the good and the bad. I gave a lot of thumbs up, gave a couple thumbs down. We're heading in the right direction. Please, for the upcoming years, let's get rubber dinosaurs, please. And I'm going to reserve all judgment till I get to the store, but those are my rough estimates and previews for this year for the toy line. So if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe down below if you're not already subscribed. Leave a comment down below what you guys think of the toy line. A lot of people hate it, a lot of people like it, not too many people are in the middle like me. So after seeing it, hopefully we can get a little bit of changes. Probably gonna look at everything in the store, probably buy a lot of stuff, if not review everything for you guys and see which one's good and which one's bad, but this is just a rough estimate and preview. Let me know down below what you guys think. If you dislike this video, we apologize for any inconvenience. Thank you for choosing CRS. Rah, rah.